What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Dre the Brute Daniels, and welcome to another episode of the Indie Corner, where I interview everybody from the indie comics community: writers, artists, producers, directors. Doesn't matter if you're in the game. I want to talk to you. This week we have a very special guest, one of my very good friends. He is a artist, colorer, penciler, inker, name it. He's a jack of all trades, and he is the artist behind my comic TREBLE, The Rhythm Within. Give it up, everybody, for Federico Corsini. What is going on, my friend?
What's up, Dre? Everything's good here in this magnificent space.
Absolutely. First of all,
pretty happy you having me.
Absolutely. I had to have you on. And first of all, I want to thank you so much for making the time to show up for my show, because it means a lot, and all the work we've done together over the years. I definitely need to have you on. So first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you.
So I know who you are, all the ins and outs. So, but my audience may not. So please tell everybody who you are, what you do, where you're from, the whole 9 yards.
Well, my name is Federico Corsini. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm from the 80s. And well, I'm a digital artist, mostly focused on sequential art. I make graphic design also. And well, I'm working in this like about 5 years ago, something like that. I began first with studying the medium. I read comics, but I never intend to do more like as a hobby. So I decided to contact some artists from Argentina, some professional artists, to study the medium in its core, right?
Yeah, just getting your feet wet, more or less. Yeah. Just giving it a good shot.
I began working on my first book around 2015, and I published it. I self-published, and 1 year later is this one, Remitente. I think you can translate that into sender, like sending mail or something.
Like sending or transfer.
Yeah.
Transfer. Yeah.
So it's a very European style comic. You see, like here.
There's beautiful panels. Panels on there.
Yeah, this was all made in traditional, except for the color.
So instead of traditional coloring, what did you use for it?
Digital.
Okay.
But in this particular book, the color was made by one of my brothers, Agustin.
Okay.
Right? He's a plastic artist, right? So I decided to go with him, and I act as a director. I made the art, but the color was. And it's a psychological drama. And 2 years later, I published this one. It's called Maranatha. It's an old word, like meaning God among us or something like that.
Okay. Let me try to say that. Maranatha. Hey, I'm catching on. I'm getting good.
It's a comedy. It's an adventure comedy. Far from the other book, something more cartoonish, right?
Yeah, and I like the fact that it looks goofy. You know, it's like it looks goofy and bubbly. It's inviting.
I think try to adapt the artwork to any story, it's important, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I tried new things every project, and well, I published those two books back in Argentina. Then I moved to Lisbon, in Portugal. I'm living here around like 2.5 years now. And I made a lot of small one-shots for different signs and small press publish.
So so basically just doing one shots, just one off, just trying to tell a quick story.
Yeah, like 4 to 10 pages, no more than that.
Yeah.
And well, then we begin working on TREBLE, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we started working on it in
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, my God, over it's like over 2.5 years ago, almost. I think
a lot of time.
Yeah, I think it's like right when you moved to Portugal.
Yeah,
I think it's right when you moved to Portugal, like we started working on it.
2-3 months.
I remember when you sent me the samples, I was like, yeah, this is my guy. Like this is my guy here. This is my dude. But yeah, to see like your journey is tremendous. Seeing how you can draw different styles, because some can only do dark, gritty, hard lines, and you're able to do the bubbly colors. You're able to do things that are serious or funny or goofy. You're over here. We call that versatility.
Exactly.
But it's so good to see your creative style on display in that way. And I remember you had told me that you had made published, but I've never seen the covers before. I literally have never seen the covers of the ones that you had self-published back in the day. So this is a treat for me. So it's really good. Are you still distributing those, or are
only in Argentina? They're in Spanish, and I have plans for the first book. And I have minor issues with the art. I think it's a little outdated, but
okay.
I'm very happy with the general outcome from it. But I need to make the translation, right? So I think I can publish it digitally in the near future. But I only publish these books back in Argentina.
Okay.
And the second one, being a comedy, it have a very specific Argentinian humor, so it's hard to translate, specifically for the references and that kind of stuff. So
I got you.
I don't think.
So basically, it's more targeted towards the local.
Yeah.
So like the jokes would only make sense to people that are from there. Kind of like that.
Some can be translated, but more of it is very local, and it might be lost in translation.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense, because there's certain comedies we have here in the States.
Yeah. That's the problem with comedies.
Yes, and that's the thing. Comedy can be universal, but it's only if things that everybody can relate to. If it's demographic specific, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna land. Those jokes are falling flat as a pancake. So I get that. But yeah.
And I'm also I'm working now on another project for England. From
what was the title of that one again?
It's a Band of Warriors, right?
Yeah, Band of Warriors. Yes, because I remember there was a Kickstarter for that one.
And we managed to publish the first issue. Also, I'm an artist, but the main story and direction is from George London, I think.
George Landon? Is that George Landon, right? Yeah.
And also, it's a very different story. So it's more a historical kind of story. And I'm very glad to adjust my art to different kind of. I think otherwise it's boring.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that one was a little out of your wheelhouse. So this was something that you had to really adjust to, and it's something new.
I think the entertainment part of working for other people is that there's a lot of stories that you can come around because it's not what you usually write. So these two books are stories that I want to tell, and other stories are not in my specific kind of writing, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't know if I will make a superheroes kind of story if I'm not working with you. I like superhero stories,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I can write one. So, or historic stories like Band of Warriors. So I'm thrilled to work on with other people.
Exactly. So if you had like the ones you wrote in the past, this is a golden opportunity for me to ask this question. This is great. So since you wrote and produced those two in the past, were those the only two that were your original stories that you wrote back then?
Original stories.
Okay,
and I'm now working on another project, but it's in my spare time, so it's going.
And you keep hinting to me about this mystery story that you've been working on that you don't want to share with your boy, but it's all good.
I can say the particularity.
Okay.
It's that it's a silent story, right?
Okay.
When I
real quick, Federico, please explain to the audience what a silent story is.
You don't have dialogues.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's, all images.
It's all images, right? I read comics from my childhood, right? To this day, I really like the medium. But I remember specifically one from my childhood that it's a story of Batman, right?
Okay.
I think the name in English is The Many Deaths of Batman. It's a very short run, 4 issues, right?
Gotcha.
4 issues from the main line. It's so I don't know exactly which issues are, but it's a short story in 4 issues. And I remember being a kid, and my dad said to my dad, "Hey, I want that one." And when I was home, I opened it, and I was like, "What happened here? There is no dialogue."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dad, hey, Dad, this it is broken. What happened here?
I got cheated. I want my money."
It's failed. Something happened. And he's like, no. It's okay. I read it to you, right? And I was like amazed by the notion that you can tell a story only
with pictures.
With the pictures.
Yes.
It was like a magical experience.
Yes.
Right?
And I'm so glad you're talking to me about this, because I'm extremely interested in seeing all this go down when you finally release it. But what you just described, one thing that always comes to my head when I think about like silent pictures in that way, other than like the 1920s or whatever.
Yeah.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, totally.
Samurai Jack.
Totally.
Is a silent movie.
Yeah.
For at least the first season, there's like no talking at all.
Well, everything. Tartakovsky is a genius.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just put him on a pedestal. Lord, please give him anything he wants.
Last year he comes around with Primal, I think it's called. And it's also
is Primal great or what? I mean, but to see like how you can put dialogue in your head to explain what's going on without someone actually saying the words is powerful. And I think that's a very powerful medium that I can't wait to see you put out, because not everybody can do that perfectly. Because when you have that, because that is a tough art form to play with. So I am really interested to see how you're going to pull this one off. Could I do that? No, not me. Not me. I don't think
you have to understand. Being Spanish, my main language, I have to come first for my own interest and for a wider audience.
Yeah,
it's something like this.
Yeah,
and I think it's a thing I wanted to do for so long, and now I think it's the perfect time. So I'm trying to make it the best I can.
Look, Federico, you've got my interest, because I have to see how you're gonna pull this off, because that's a tough one to do, and I am really look. I know you got all the talent in the world, but I gotta see this. I gotta see this. I am all in. I got to see how you're gonna pull this one off, because that is gonna be incredible. I can't wait. Have you given it a title yet?
Yeah, Isabel.
Isabel, like the name, like a lady?
It's a name, right?
Okay. Isabel.
The name is taken from a Björk song.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Dope. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that, got the shivers. I want to check that out when that's out there. Good grief. So is that going to be a one shot, or you think about making it into a series?
Yeah, it's I got the sketches done. Okay. Right. It's 100 pages long.
Ooh. Okay. That's black
and white. So.
That's a graphic novel. What you doing over there? That's a graphic novel. Okay.
Slowly. It's a lot of work, so
yeah. So now you just have my curiosity. I'm trying to ask a couple questions now. So how are you doing the storyboard if there's not going to be like any dialogue? How are you going to do the storyboard?
I did the sketches from the pages directly.
Okay.
I made a paragraph like saying what the story is all about, where I wanted to go, and then like checkpoints, right?
Okay.
I need to arrive to this, right? So I focus on the next step till I got all the storyboard done, and then as the
because look, it takes a lot to really pique my curiosity, and you have done it, my brother. You have done it, because that's gonna be really cool. Wow, I am a little stoked. I want to see that. So get cracking, brother. Get cracking. I gotta see that. And that's gonna be good for any market, English or Spanish. Because there's no words. So I mean, it's
and I think it to make it like a mirror, and you can read it in Japanese if you want.
Oh yeah. See, that's why I talk to you. You're so much smarter than me, man. I'm telling you. You're so much smarter than me.
In a globalized world, so
yeah, like a couple of buddies of mine was like, "Hey, you're gonna start putting your stuff out in Japanese?" I'm like, "What? Are you crazy? Are you insane? I barely speak English. I barely speak English. You can tell me Japanese. Oh, good grief! But no, man, that's cool. I like that idea. Excellent. So, one more question. For for our viewing audience, for those that are aspiring to be artists like yourself, what advice could you give for young aspiring artists that are trying to get into the circle, indie community? What advice would you give to them as of right now? How the comic market is today? What advice would you give them?
Well, I think it depends if you're working in a project of yourself or if you're working for someone else. But first of all, discipline. You need to sit and do, right?
Yeah, hey, 100%. So yeah, number one, discipline. Agreed, absolutely.
Make comics takes a lot of time. It's not a simple task. I know one of my teachers told me one time that maybe you spend 10-20 hours making a page, and most people just gonna spend like 5 seconds on it. And the thing that they will notice is if there's a mistake on it. So don't make anything you won't purchase yourself, right?
That's
do it and you say, I will buy this.
Yes. So to make yourself a fan of your own work, pretty much. Very good.
Of course, you will revisit your work and you will say, okay, there is mistakes, right? But you need to push your art forward. You never stop learning. You always have to study. You always have to improve yourself. Try to get all the feedback you can from, especially from people that are not close to you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Feedback, unbiased feedback.
Yeah.
Very
good. People are gonna destroy your work. That's a part of the game.
Trust me.
There are things that probably they are right. There are things that probably they're wrong. You must be critic with your own work, but not destroy it.
Exactly.
That's very important. If you're working for someone else, you have to have work ethics, right?
Ooh.
It's very important.
Work ethic.
And a lot of communication, right? Your word means your work. That's it. If you set a time or something, and you see you can manage to get the time, be frontal, be respectful, try to be honest.
Honesty is a great policy when it comes to that type of work, especially. Yeah. And that's one thing I've always admired about you, Federico. For the last 2.5, my God, we're working together 2.5 years. Like last 2.5 years, like you've always been straight with me, you've always double checked with me. You've always been like, hey, I like this. Hey, what did you mean by this? The level of your professionalism is the best I've ever come in contact with, and I've met a bazillion people in the industry, and
there's a lot of people around, and not all with the best.
No. I've tried to deal with other people in the past, and I'm just like, yo, seriously. But when it comes to you, you're top notch. I've never had any qualms with your work ever, because you're one of the best in the game, and I've always appreciated that about you. And
thank you so much.
You know, I mean, like, look, my heart gushing now. Now my heart's gushing. Like, yeah, I've always appreciated that about you, and you've always been on top of everything, and I've always even though sometimes like I saw it a different way or you saw it a certain way or whatever the case may be, we've always been able to come to a common ground and all that stuff, and you've always been great. So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to gush. Please continue. Please continue your list. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
Communication. Communication. It's so important. So important. We try to stay in contact all the time. If you be sure that the product you're doing it's what your client is looking to.
Makes sense.
And if you're in this, you're gonna cross with people that are gonna try to scam you. All that kind of bad stuff. Try to be clear of what do you work is and how do you work. And do your best. Do your best, always. And if you're working for yourself, also don't destroy your work, right? There's a ton of days where you wake up and say, well, all this I made it's
garbage.
It's garbage.
Yeah, like it's just not good enough. Yeah, don't beat yourself up. You're
gonna have those days. Yeah. Be honest with what you're doing, with what you want to do. Some projects are going to be related to and keep in a space and be there forever. But some are gonna blossom in something beautiful or not. I don't know.
Yep.
But no, try to publish.
Yep. Yeah.
Try to publish. Get it done.
Get her done.
Get it done.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot of people that gonna like your work. There's gonna people that don't gonna like your work. And we are 7 billion people in the world. Yeah. You're gonna find your public.
Yep. Excellently said, Federico. Could not have said it better myself. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. So, I once again want to thank you for coming on the show and, showing me some stuff that I didn't know about you, which is, great, and showing and really expressing your work and your journey and everything. And I want to, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all the work that you've done with me over the years.
No, thank you for the chance. I really enjoy working in Treble.
Absolutely. Speaking of Treble, The Realm Within, Part 5 is out for a digital download, English and in Espanol, courtesy of our good friend Federico. But if you haven't caught up on everything, say less, because Treble number 1 through 4 is available on the SpinWiz app and spinwiz.com, and the paperbacks are coming soon. So check out all of Federico's work. I'm going to leave a link in the description section below. Go ahead and check him out. Follow him on all his social media platforms, especially his Instagram. That's where he lays down the good stuff. So definitely check out all his work. Once again, Federico Corsini, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the show. And I can't wait to see what other works we got cracking up in the future. So,
thank you for having me.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, we want to thank our audience, and we will catch you all next time. Also, if you want to support my channel, check out spinwiz.com or download the SpinWiz app and check out my comic series, Treble. It was written with a lot of love, and it was definitely my favorite comic series to write. I've also written it in English and in Spanish, so whatever floats your boat, I got it for you. Thanks again, and check it out.